All right, how is everybody doing? I'm going to start over. How's everybody doing today? I'm excited that you're here for this webinar, Why Your Amazon FBA Business is Stuck and the Simple Steps to Find Massive Growth. Now, it can be really frustrating sometimes when we put a lot of time and effort into our Amazon FBA business and we don't really get to see a lot of growth. Maybe we did found some really good, interesting growth at the beginning, but there comes a point in time in almost every Amazon FBA business where you kind of start to plateau and you're not finding any more inventory, or you're not being able to grow your disbursements, and you've been told reinvest as much as you can so that you can get your income up and be able to reinvest into more inventory. But there comes a point in the time where your growth begins to kind of plateau a little bit, and we might want to help you. I want to help you break through that plateau, and just feeling stuck is frustrating as all get out, and we're going to conquer that today. So why is your Amazon FBA business stuck? I'll get to that in just a second. I want to make sure you know that I have a free gift for you. If you don't have this already, it's an ebook, free ebook, Seller Central Tips, reimbursements, refunds, and how to correct other Amazon glitches. FulltimeFBA.com/Seller Central Tips is how you get this free ebook. It's my gift to you just for showing up today, and it will help you with your reimbursements and refunds and other glitches in Amazon. Inventory that is stranded, so many different things that go wrong in Seller Central. These are some tips to help you be able to find improvement with your Amazon FBA business through Seller Central. So my little gift for you. So you are in the right place. If you are an Amazon seller who can't seem to make more money on Amazon no matter how hard you try, maybe you found some success at the beginning, but you're kind of frustrated now and you wish you could make some more money, but you're not able to. You're in the right place if you are an Amazon seller and you wish you could increase your Amazon sales to be much larger than they are right now. You're in the right place if you want the number of hours you work to go down, but the profits that you make to go up, your income go up. You're in the right place. But a lot of us, we're stuck. We are stuck in a certain place where we wish we could break through. And in this webinar, I will show you why you were stuck. But who am I and why the heck should you trust me? Well, real quickly, I'm Stephen Smotherman, and that's me and my family. This was a picture taken this summer. My family and I went to on a big 7-day long Grand Canyon trip. We drove all over and visited so many different places, but I loved it because my disbursements did not go down. I still kept making money because of Amazon FBA. All my inventory was there, and if a customer bought it, Amazon shipped it to the customer, and I could still keep going along with my vacation and not miss out a paycheck at all. And so it's basically like a paid vacation. So it's pretty awesome. So that's me, my wife, my 3 kids. I have 4 kids. The oldest one is grown, and that's us at Grand Canyon. But before, back in 1998, I discovered eBay, and I got hooked on eBay. I got hooked on buying things on eBay, and then I ran out of money and started to get hooked on selling stuff on eBay. So I started selling things on eBay, and I did pretty good. And that was 98, 99 when I started selling stuff on eBay, and it was a nice little hobby, for about 10 or so years. And I just, but there came a point in my life where I found myself at the bottommost point of my entire life. I was freshly divorced. I was unemployed. I had no income. I had no money. I was in debt, and I had to find a way to support myself and my kids. I was a single dad, 4 kids, and I was like, what am I going to do? And that was in 2011. And in 2011, I decided maybe I can figure out how to make a good income on eBay. So I started researching how I can make good money on eBay, and that's when I discovered Amazon FBA. Knowing that Amazon can take my inventory, store it for me, ship it to the customer if it sells, sign me up, yes. And because I knew if I was going to make a lot of money on eBay, I would need a lot of inventory. But who wants to find it in your garage, find the right packing box, ship it to the UPS store or ship it through USPS and deal with all of that? Not me. Amazon takes care of all of that. So in 2011, I started Amazon FBA. In 2012, I was already making a full-time income with Amazon. And in fact, in Q4 of 2012, I was awarded as a top holiday seller in 2012. And the top holiday seller was a seller that has made the top 25% in sales for all of Amazon sellers. And so that was pretty cool. I was in the top 25%. Plus, I kept an A1 plus customer satisfaction rating throughout the entire process. Now, 2012 was the last year that Amazon gave this award away, but it was really an honor to be able to win this award. In fact, I still have it framed on my shelf right there. And see, it's right here. And it inspires me. It's one of the things that inspires me to keep going. But in 2013, my life took an amazing, drastic 180 turn, and I married Rebecca. She became an amazing stepmom. Not only that, but my wife is such an encourager. I would spend a lot of time on Facebook answering people's questions and in different FBA Facebook groups, and she's like, you should start a blog. So in 2013, just a few months after her and I got married, I started fulltimefba.com, where it's always been my goal to help people turn part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon. And so that's what I've been doing ever since, with blog posts, video tutorials, stuff like that, fulltimefba.com. And I've been able to make a full-time income every year by only spending part-time hours since 2012. And so I've been going strong, and I love teaching other people how to do that. So that's me, that's who I am, and why you should trust me. But your Amazon FBA business is stuck. But before we get into that, I want to take a quick poll to see how long have you been selling on Amazon. So let's launch this poll, and you can click on your screen. How long have you been selling on Amazon? Have you not started yet? Have you just started? Maybe you've been going for 6 to 12 months. Maybe you've been going for a year or two, or maybe it's been over 2 years. So here's the results of the poll. How long have you been selling on Amazon? We have a pretty well-balanced group here. Some of you have been doing it for over 2 years, but maybe you're experiencing being stuck in your Amazon business. A few of you might be a year or two, and you're feeling stuck. Maybe you've been selling for 6 to 12 months and you're stuck. Maybe you're just started and you want to learn how to make sure you don't get stuck in the future. And some of you have not even started yet. And I applaud you for learning this now so that you can make sure that you do not get stuck later. So your Amazon FBA business is stuck, and there are five reasons why your Amazon FBA business is stuck, and they all happen to start with the letters of the word stuck. Why your Amazon FBA business is stuck, there are 5 reasons why. We're going to break them down in this webinar right now. So the first reason why your Amazon FBA business is stuck is that you have a short-term mindset. You are stuck, you cannot break through, and one reason why might be because your mindset is short-term. You have a short-term mindset. So let's break this down, what this means. Your short-term mindset is slowing you down. It's only thinking about today, today's sales, today's sourcing results, today's price, today's sales ring, today's shiny object that is trying to distract you. All of these things cause us to not look at the long term, obviously. And it can slow us down, because if we're just looking at today's sales and we're having a bad sales day, that could impact how we feel about our business. And how we feel about our business, that will impact the activities that we do in our business. When we don't feel confident in something, we tend not to put in the time and effort with it. The more confidence we feel, the more impact we can have on something that, then the more stuff we'll do. So short-term mindset is something that is slowing you down with your Amazon business. And a lot of times also, we kind of begin to personalize things where my sales are bad today, I'm a bad Amazon seller. My sourcing results were horrible, I'm a horrible sourcer. And it's something that is distracting us and brings us down, and I want to help you overcome that. Another thing with short-term mindset, when we're sourcing, we're just looking at today's price, we're just looking at today's sales rank. And hopefully by now, if you've been following me long enough, you need to look at a longer time frame and look at the average price over the last 90 days, the average sales rank over the last 90 days when you're making your sourcing decisions. And also today's shiny object. We are distracted so easily, and this type of short-term mindset is crippling our growth. So what we need to do is start working on ways to have a long-term mindset, and more specifically, like a marathon mindset. No one wakes up someday and decides, I'm going to run a marathon. I've been sitting on the couch for a long time. I want to run a marathon, and then they go off and do it and succeed it with ease. That does not happen. Marathon runners, they take time to train. They first train, by training for a 5K first, then training for a 10K, then training for a half marathon. And so it takes a long time to work your way up. And that time and thought that goes into planning for a marathon is the same type of thought and planning that needs to go into a successful Amazon FBA business. So we're not bothered by today's sales or today's sourcing results because we have a marathon mindset. We have that long-term mindset. We look at year-to-date sales, not today's sales. We look at average sales prices and average sales ranks, not just today's. We look at building endurance. Running an Amazon business is so much fun at first, but after a while, that begins to wear off and we realize, oh man, there's work to do. And so it's building up that endurance to continue going out and sourcing, even though yesterday you didn't fill up a cart, even though yesterday you only found a handful of items. It's building up endurance to keep going and looking at the long term of your sourcing strategies, because too often we give up by letting today's results or yesterday's results fuel us, which it's not much fuel at all. And also we need to understand that patience is a part of building this business. A lot of us, when we first heard about Amazon FBA, thought it'd probably be a way to get some good income pretty quickly. And a lot of people are actually duped by some Amazon course creators and things like that, that this is a get rich quick scheme and a get rich easy scheme. It's like you're going to get rich really fast and it's going to be really easy. Now, my personal results, I was able to make a full-time income in less than 12 months being able to do this. In fact, it was about 6 or 7 months that I was able to make a full-time income. But if I promised that to everybody, that was my situation. And I know everyone is different. And so if I tell you that you can make a full-time income in 6 months, I'll be doing you a disservice, because it all depends on what you're doing and your commitment to it and your mindset. And so having that long-term mindset is a big deal. So take a step back, look at the big picture and realize what's going on, and you'll be able to get through that stuckiness that is slowing you down. So a lot of people think that success looks like this. This is what it looks like. It's just a straight line. I start here, I finish there. That's what success looks like. Couldn't be further from the truth. This is what success looks like. It's ugly. It's confusing. It's going forwards, 2 steps back, going around, changing things. It's wiggly. It's jiggly. That's what success looks like, and understanding that, but having the marathon long-term mindset, big picture mindset, you're okay with that. If you just looked at the first few steps of this success chart over here, you might be like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, horrible things happen. Oh, good things happen. Bad things happen. And you might be tempted to give up. But when you look at the big picture, you can see that it takes time and you can find success. So why does your Amazon FBA business suck? Well, it could be because of a short-term mindset that you have. Here's another reason. You're trading time for money. You might be stuck because the only things that you're spending time on are the things that you're able to make money on. Now, in theory, and at first this sounds good, that you're trading time for money, because when you're trading time for money, the more you work, the more money you can make. That's totally possible. The more time that you spend, the more money you can make. The only problem is that time is not finite, or time is not infinite. So when you spend time, it's gone. Time is gone. You cannot ever get it back. And so while it's true that the more you work, the more you can make, there's only so many hours in the day. More work means more sacrificing. It means sacrificing time with your family, sacrificing time with your kids, sacrificing time resting, which resting is a key component of actual finding growth too. You need that time to recharge so that you can make sure that the time that you are working is at your highest capabilities. And so more work does mean more sacrificing. And yes, upfront, when you first start an Amazon FBA business, I do think it's a good idea to sacrifice things here and there with the understanding that it's temporary. But if you're trying to make more money and realizing the only way I can make more money is to spend more time in my business, then that's not a good solution for the long haul. More work leads to burnout. Like I said before, when you are spending too much time working and you're not resting, you're not recuperating, you're not recharging, then it's going to lead to burnout. When you trade time for money, you devalue yourself. Think about all the activities that you need to do in your Amazon FBA business. How many of them can be replaced by a minimum wage worker? If you are working on activities in your business that a minimum wage worker can do, then you are working at a minimum wage job. That's just what it is. And you can't find growth in the long term working at a minimum wage job. And there's also, well, we can do a whole webinar just on this, control issues. If you have problems letting go of your Amazon business and letting go of trying or feeling like you have to do everything yourself, there's some control issues that you might need to work through, because the true source of being able to grow your Amazon FBA business is not trading your time for money. It's trading money for more time. Trading money for more time. The less you work, the more money you can make. Because if you're able to find somebody else to do the minimum wage jobs that are a part of your Amazon FBA business, you have more time to do the high paying jobs. What parts of your Amazon FBA business do you think deserve getting paid $100 an hour? Your sourcing, maybe. You can find out what those are yourself, but what things that are minimum wage can you outsource to somebody else? There's only so much time in the day for you to be able to get everything done, and so you need to only be working on the things that have the highest impact in your business. Is taking stickers off of inventory the most important thing, have the highest impact on your business? No, someone else can do that for minimum wage. Only do what only you can do and outsource the rest. Outsource the rest. Outsourcing is a huge component of being able to get unstuck in your Amazon business and let other people do things. And so outsourcing is awesome. In fact, if you sell via Amazon FBA, you are already outsourcing. You've outsourced your storage. You've outsourced your product shipment. You've outsourced a lot of your customer service. You've outsourced your returns. You've outsourced so many things in your business just because you're set up with FBA. And so there, you can continue outsourcing, but only work on the high dollar job activities. And for each one of us, that could be different things. Some of them, it could be finding new wholesale accounts, or having those conversations with wholesalers. Or some of you, it might be, the most important thing for me to do is to train people to source inventory for me. And you can grow your business that way by being able to hire people to do sourcing for you. What if you hired someone just to go around your town and go to book sales for you? What if you hired someone to go around and just go get inventory for you at retail stores? It's possible. And we even put out a blog post about it today. If you go to fulltimefba.com/fear of outsourcing, I think is what it is, you can see a whole blog post about overcoming your fear of training someone else who could end up being your competition. So, but it's important for you to begin trading money for more time, not only with hiring help to take stickers off or hiring help to prep, pack, and ship your inventory, but also using tools that help you buy more time. Like I love using tactical arbitrage to find inventory. And what that does is it takes hours and hours and hours of online arbitrage sourcing and condenses it into just an hour or so. And so I'm able to take hours and hours of sourcing, condense it into 1 hour, and do a better job with my online arbitrage sourcing. And so if you're interested in tactical arbitrage, the price actually just went down. So if you go to fulltimefba.com/TA, you can learn more about tactical arbitrage. If you use the coupon code FULLTIME10, FULLTIME10, you can get an extended 10-day trial to be able to learn and use tactical arbitrage. But that's trading money for more time. I'm actually buying more time because I'm finding things that will do things quicker, or I'm finding other people who need a nice little side income who can do the job for me and can do the minimum wage tasks for me. That just is a huge game changer. So trading time for money, not a good idea. Trading money for more time is awesome. Warren Buffett, big time investor. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is, I mean, how many of you have experienced this before? You've been sleeping and you wake up and you checked your messages and Amazon sent you 4 or 5 messages that says, Amazon has shipped the order that you sold. Like, I love making money while I sleep. You do that with FBA, you can increase it by outsourcing a lot of parts of your Amazon business. So find ways to make money while you sleep, or you're going to work every day until you die. All right, we're down 2. We've got 3 more to go. Why your Amazon FBA business is stuck. You might have the short-term mindset. You might be trading time for money, and you might be having unclear goals, and you're stuck, and you're not able to break free because your goals are too vague. They're not set up, and you're too scattered in your activities. And so unclear goals is something that is stopping you from finding that success. You've got shiny object syndrome. I mean, what do I mean by shiny object syndrome? What happens if we're driving along and something starts flashing, something shiny, it gets our attention. That's shiny object syndrome. We are focused on a certain goal. Oh, hey, look at this shiny object. It happens all the time. And if we're not careful, it can take us off track away from our path to success. So if we're like, I'm wanting to make money on Amazon FBA, ooh, merch, I can do t-shirts. Ooh, I need to focus on Amazon FBA. Ooh, private label. Ooh, I can do private label stuff, and we're scattered. Shiny object syndrome is what is slowing us down. We get to be scattered and unorganized, and that is not a plan for success. The finish line is vague with unclear goals, and we're not even sure what we're working towards. We're like, I want to make money on Amazon. That's a vague goal. It's not clear at all. And so it's like, well, how much money do you want to make? When do you want to make it? How do you want to go about making it? What are the steps within that? So when you get to have clearer goals, the finish line becomes a lot more clear, and you know where you're going. And with unclear goals, it's too easy to get distracted. We talked about that with shiny object syndrome. And this is the biggie. We get overwhelmed. How many of you get to be overwhelmed with what you need to do next? I don't know there's so many people. I read a new blog post, I want to do that. I watch a new YouTube video, I want to do that. There's just a lot. I go to Facebook and someone's saying that they found success with this. I want to do that. And we get to be overwhelmed because we can't do everything. That's obvious. We can't do everything. But when we're able to get clear goals, then we're able to, stick with and commit to something that's really going to help us lead to success. And so when we have focused goals, we want to make sure that they are smarter goals. This here that spells out the word smarter, SMARTER, specific. Make sure your goals are specific. They're measurable, they're actionable, they're realistic, they're time-bound, they're exciting, and they're relevant. Make sure your goals, they're specific, it's measurable by a certain number, it's actionable, it's got an action component to the goal. It's realistic. It's not something like, I want to make $1 billion in 1 month selling on Amazon FBA. Well, it's not realistic. It's time bound. You've got a time to when you want that goal achieved by. It's exciting. It's something that motivates you and fuels you, and it's relevant. It's something that goes along with the stage of life that you're in. And so make sure it's that. Again, another acronym that I like, focus. Follow one course until successful. When we follow through with that focus, we find massive results. Focus brings us closer and closer to success, and it helps us, get more things done and get the right things done. The goal is not about doing more. The goal is about doing the right things and being able to stick with that. And so goals also bring us accountability. Get your goals, print them out, put it on the wall. Be able to look at those goals, be able to share, you can share them in our Facebook group, fulltimefba.com/Facebook. You can share those goals with us. We can keep you accountable. Tell your spouse, tell your friends, tell people who can keep you accountable with those goals. Hey, how are you doing on these 3 goals? Well, the first 2 are doing great. The other ones, not doing too good on. And that helps you also find success because of that accountability. And just trust the process. Goal setting. You might have thought, I've done that before, it didn't work for me. A lot of times it's because we've gotten distracted, we've let go, and we've given up too early. A lot of us give up way too early and don't trust the long-term process, the marathon mindset that we need to have. So why your Amazon FBA business is stuck could be short-term mindset, could be that you're trading time for money, could be because you have unclear goals. It also could be because you're complacent. You know, you're actually happy with where you are. I mean, you'd like to see the disbursements get more, but you're just complacent, and that's causing you to be stuck. And so complacency is serious, and you get too comfortable, too lazy, too scared, too worried, too busy. Those all cause you to be complacent. I know I've heard of people saying, I just sell books on Amazon. You know, can I make a full-time income just selling books? I'm like, well, yes, but it's a lot harder than if you learn other categories and focus on, you know, learning the toy category, learning the health and beauty category, learning the grocery category. The more categories you know, the more things that you can sell, and the faster you can find growth and success. But a lot of us are too comfortable. I just know books. Just get out of that comfort zone. Find something else. You know, just pick one other category to learn, and then after you get comfortable with that, pick a new category, and move past that. Some of you are too lazy. A lot of time, again, we go back to the lie that a lot of people have been told that this is a get rich quick or get rich easy plan. It's not. This is hard work. It requires the work. Some of us are too scared, and I get it. You know, you're too scared that you're going to fail, and you've got a lot of fears holding you back, and it's time to break through those fears and work past them. You're too worried about an Amazon suspension, worried about a copyright, claim, things like that, or you're too busy and you're like, I got too much stuff going on. Well, too busy might be that you're spending too much time on things that are not bringing the most action results, and you need to start cutting those down. And so Benjamin E. Mays, a civil rights activist, said this: the tragedy of life is often not in our failure, but rather in our complacency. Not in our doing too much, but rather in our doing too little. Not in our living above our ability, but rather in our living below our capacities. You are capable of so much more than you're doing right now, and there's certain things that are holding you back. And so to get past that complacency, I want to help you with that passionate drive, the drive that will move you forward, for you to be passionate about. Find that spark that you first had when you first heard about Amazon FBA and get motivated again. Get that spark going and get excited again. Get out of your comfort zone. A lot of time we get so comfortable in certain aspects that we don't take any risks. I mean, just take one risk and I mean, make it a safe risk, but learning a new category on Amazon, that's not a big risk. So outside of your comfort zone is where the magic happens. You can overcome your fears. We have a whole series on the blog about fears. We even have got a couple Kindle books. If you go to fulltimefba.com/FBA fears, you can get a free Kindle download of our Overcoming Your Amazon FBA Fear books, Volume 1. And if you go to fulltimefba.com/FBA fears 2, I think it's like $2 or $3 or something like that to be able to download a book about how to overcome your Amazon FBA fears, Volume 2. And so, but the best thing that overcomes fear is consistency. It's the first time you ever jumped off a high dive, that's scary. I still remember my kids, I have it on video, walking up to the high dive, looking down and like I want to crawl back, but there's a whole line behind me, and getting up to the edge, and then you jump off the high dive, and you're praying and you're screaming, and then you make it and you're fine. You're like, oh, it was awesome, I want to go do it again. And then you get up there again and it's still kind of scary. Consistency helps you overcome fears. And so move past that, find that passionate drive, remember your why. Start with Why is a great book, fulltimefba.com/start with why, to find out more information about it. But it helps you connect with why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe it's to get out of debt. Maybe it's to build up a retirement fund. Maybe it's to pay off the house. Maybe it's to add a swimming pool. Who knows? I mean, and maybe it's just to make a living and to finally get free from the 9-to-5 and free from your boss and your annoying coworkers. Remember your why you're doing it. That helps you get unstuck. And then refuel your motivation. When it comes to motivation, we use it up, and when it's spent, it's gone. We need to continue to refuel our motivations. So why is your Amazon FBA business stuck? Well, short-term mindset, trading time for money, unclear goals, complacency. But the last reason why your Amazon FBA business is stuck and how you can overcome it, your business might be stuck because you're a knowledge addict. You are addicted to learning, and I get it. I love learning. I love learning new things with my Amazon business, but there's new stuff out there to learn all the time. It's almost unending. There's new blog posts, there's YouTube videos, there's courses you can take, there's podcasts you can listen to, there's books that are out there. There's so many different things that you can get hooked on when it comes to learning something new. A lot of us put this into our minds, but don't ever translate it into our actions. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had people who bought my courses, and then they'll ask me a question that I'm like, have you even started your business yet? And they're like, no, I haven't started, but I bought 3 of your courses. I'm like, why haven't you even started yet if you bought 3 of my courses? And so, get into it. Some of those of you who are watching, the 10% of the poll that we did earlier that have not started yet, some of you might not have started because you're a knowledge addict and you're stuck. And you might be learning new things, and it's really good. I totally understand it's important to learn what you're getting yourself into and to learn the ins and outs, the pros and the cons, so that you are knowledgeable on what you're going to be doing. But some of you are past that point where you should be taking action. And so I encourage you, get out of the knowledge habit and getting addicted to knowledge. Being a knowledge addict is not a bad thing unless that's all you're doing with it. It needs to be transferred into action immediately. And so become an action addict, going out there and taking action. Read the blog and take action. Watch a YouTube video and take action. Take a course and take action. Listen to a podcast and take action. Read a book, take action. It's important to take action on what you're learning. I remember I was working on some time management skills, and I read a really good book on time management. And the book was called Eat That Frog. You can find out more information about that, fulltimefba.com/Eat That Frog. I loved reading the book. I thought the book was great. And my wife actually said, okay, listen, I know you like reading books, but don't read any more books until you have put into action what you've learned from this book, from Eat That Frog. Take action. But yeah, my wife was like, you still need to learn how to eat the frog before you start reading another book. So take action, and you'll be able to finally get unstuck with your Amazon FBA business. So why is your Amazon FBA business stuck? A lot of us have that short-term mindset that is slowing us down. We are trading time for money. We have unclear goals. We're complacent, and we love knowledge too much and action not enough. So how can we get unstuck and take our Amazon business to the next level? Short-term mindset? No, obviously no. We need to have a long-term mindset. Trading time for money? No way. We need to trade money for more time. We have unclear goals? We need to stop that. We need to have focused goals. We're complacent? Get that out of here. We need to be passionate. And we're focused too much on knowledge? No, we need to focus on action. Knowledge is important, but action is where things lead. That's where the magic happens. And so to be able to help you get your Amazon FBA business to the next level, I know a lot of times there's a lot of different strategies, and we get overwhelmed with what we need to do. And we wish that there would be a step-by-step process to be able to grow our Amazon business to the next level. Well, I created this course, just recently released it, Next Level Amazon, Make a Full-Time Income with Only Part-Time Hours via Amazon FBA. This course is a combination ebook and video course. The information in the ebook and the video course is exactly the same, so you can decide how you want to learn the stuff. But the ebook is 160 plus pages. The video course is over 18 videos, over 5.5 hours of video training to help you get your Amazon business to the next level. And so you can watch the first video and take action. Watch the second video and take action. Start seeing results in your Amazon FBA business. It includes 4 free bonuses, a 60-day money back guarantee, and lifetime updates for free, which means anytime we add a new bonus, add a new chapter, update the content, you get all the updates for free. Now, imagine that there was a course out there that could help you finally make a full-time income with Amazon by only spending part-time hours. How much would that be worth to you to be able to finally get to that point in your Amazon FBA business, to make a full-time income, but only part-time hours? $1,000, would that be? I mean, $2,000, would it be worth $2,000 to finally make that income? Well, don't worry, I'm not gonna charge you $1,000 or even $2,000. The cost of the course is only $177. But if you go to fulltimefba.com/next level, you can use the coupon code NEXT40 at checkout, and you'll save $40 off the cost. So after the coupon, it brings the cost down to only $137 for all the step-by-step tricks and tips, strategies, the processes, all of that to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon. I thought about pricing this course a lot more, but I wanted as many people who could experience it to be able to take part in it. And I'm not giving it away for free because I know you value what you pay for. And so if I just give this away for free to everybody, it will not be valued, it will not be trusted. But what you pay for, you value, and the content in this course is highly, highly valuable. And so, I mean, it helps you not only make a full-time income with part-time hours. The course is focused on 6 main steps. And the 6 main steps are this. Number 1, upgrading your skills. There's certain skills that you need to upgrade. There's other skills you need to ignore. I'm going to tell you the skills that you need to upgrade. Number 2, you need to outsource your business. You need to let somebody else do parts of your business for you so that you can focus on the high dollar activities. We talked about this in the webinar. So I help you and walk you through ways that you can outsource, where you can find help, how to deal with paying people, how to deal with all that, and help you outsource your business so that other people are doing the minimum wage jobs and that you're able to spend the time on the high dollar and you're able to increase your profits that way. The third thing that it helps you with is your mindset. Our minds are powerful, but a lot of times how we think is stopping us from succeeding. And so I want to help you, break you through. There's 9 specific mindsets that are focused on the full-time FBA mindset, and I want to walk you through all those in this course. Another part is to protect your investment, and that's all about dealing with insurance. I know a lot of times with going full-time, one of the things that people are scared about most is how am I going to deal with health insurance? What about liability insurance for my Amazon business? What about, there's all sorts of different types of questions people have. I answer those questions, give you a ton of options when it comes to health insurance, walk you through the need for liability insurance and how to get the most out of that and other aspects for your business to make sure that you suspension proof your business and help you deal with the things that are stopping you when it comes to a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff like the health insurance and liability insurance and stuff like that. The 5th thing this course walks you through is how to successfully transition from a 9-to-5 job or even a part-time job to full-time FBA, because there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Now, don't go out and quit your job and buy this course. You should get this course, and then I'll walk you through how you can transition, because there is a right and a wrong way. And even if you're unemployed, I'll walk you through how to transition from unemployment to full-time FBA. There's a lot of really good knowledge in that. And then the last aspect is about continued success, because we want to make sure that this does not just last for a short time, but being able to make a full-time income with part-time hours, we want to make sure this lasts long-term. So the last part of the course is about continued success to make sure you're set up for the long-term for success with learning exactly how to do that, and I'll walk you through that. So this course only $137 after the coupon code, and it will revolutionize your life, be able to help you make that full-time income with only part-time hours with your Amazon FBA business. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited for what that has to do. So fulltimefba.com/next level is where you go to get this course. And for a limited time, coupon code NEXT40 for you to save $40 today off on this course. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look through my attendees We got about 100 or so people who are here live watching this webinar, but we're going to transition now into Q&A. I've got a lot of really good questions here. I'm going to start going through them and try to see which ones work best for us. Lori says, how do I know when to transition investing all my money from inventory to VAs or tools? That's a great question. So thank you, Lori, for asking that question. How do I know when to transition all my money from inventory into VAs or tools? So a lot of times when we first start our Amazon FBA business, we're told invest everything back into more inventory, more inventory, more inventory, more inventory, and that's a really good strategy, because the more inventory you have, the more you'll able to find Amazon business growth. But when it comes to how you spend your money in other ways to grow your Amazon business, I would say first off, I would only pick one. I would either pick transitioning to a VA or transitioning to a tool. I probably, if you're not already outsourcing your prep, packing, and shipping, that's probably one of the first things I would outsource, whether you're having someone come to your home to take care of it or you're using a prep center in a local area. If you're doing online arbitrage, you can have a prep center be almost anywhere in the United States. But if you don't have that outsourced, I probably outsource that first. Find someone who can do your prep, packing, and shipping at your house, someone you're comfortable with. And then trying out new tools, I would have the tools be the next thing that you try out. Now, the matter of timing of all of that is if you start to notice that you wish you had more time in the day. When you start to realize, I wish I had more time to go out and get more inventory, then that's when I would start to invest in new tools, whether it's tactical arbitrage or OA X-ray or other tools like that. I would start using more tools when I start to realize I wish I had more time. Almost everybody who uses a tool that helps them or outsources always says, I wish I did it sooner. So if you're even just thinking about it, it's probably time to outsource parts of your business. So that's a really good question, Lori. Bill says, what accounting software do you use? Does it pull in the sales from Amazon, including fees, sales tax, etc.? Personally, I use Inventory Lab, and I love Inventory Lab for all my accounting purposes. It does pull in all of Amazon fees, and what I love about Inventory Lab is when doing retail arbitrage, I use Scoutify. And Scoutify is an app on your phone that comes with Inventory Lab. And so when I'm outsourcing, I've scanned the barcode, I add it to my buy list, and then when I'm ready to send it to Amazon through Inventory Lab, it already has my buy cost, because when I've added this to my buy list, it's already in there. So it already has those costs. But you can also add your mileage, you can add all your other types of expenses in Inventory Lab, and Inventory Lab crunches all those numbers and is the perfect accounting software. It doesn't do everything because it doesn't know what your buy cost is. So you have to do that. It doesn't do everything because it doesn't know your cost for supplies for your boxes or your packing stuff, but you can put that in really easily and keep it all organized. I love Inventory Lab. You can get a month free, fulltimefba.com/inventory lab, and that helps you be able to not have to worry about all those other numbers, because Inventory Lab does that all for you within Inventory Lab, and it will take your returns and your fees and your costs and all this other type of stuff and do all that for you. So someone says, are bundles part of this course? I was like, no, doing bundles is not a part of this course, but I do have some tips for you if you are doing bundles, because it is one way to separate yourself from other Amazon sellers. I've got a book that I've read that really helped me with making bundles, fulltimefba.com/bundle book. And that book walks you through how to create bundles and how to deal with all of Amazon's newest regulations when it comes to bundles. But a lot of times it's frustrating if you find something on Amazon and you're selling it. Sometimes you even create the product page for it, but someone else comes along and sells the same item at a much lower price. Well, if you create a product page of a certain item bundled with another item, then it makes it a lot harder for copycats to come on and sell the exact same item. So you can sell bundles and get less competition and be able to make more money that way, because you're selling multiple items by bundling it and not having to worry about copycats coming on and lowering the price and lowering the ROI, because that's really frustrating. Someone says, do you email customers asking for feedback, or do you use a software tool to ask for feedback? Thank you, Bill, for that question. At the beginning, when I first got started with my Amazon business, I would email customers and ask them But lately I've been using a tool called Feedback Genius. If you go to fulltimefba.com/genius, you can get 2 months worth of Feedback Genius for free. Usually they just give you one. It's awesome. Not only do they email the customer, hey, this item is arriving today. If everything works great, can you leave us an honest feedback? And if there's something wrong, can you please let us know? Not only do you get the feedback request, but you also head them off if there is something wrong. They know they can come to you for help instead of going to Amazon to leave you negative feedback. With Feedback Genius, it does it automatically. But another thing I love about Feedback Genius, I get text alerts the moment I get a negative feedback for both my seller account, and if there's certain products that I want to make sure that I take care of the feedback score of those products, I get text the moment I get a negative or a neutral feedback, so I can address those and get those taken care of. So I love that because, yeah, there's times when there was one time when I was out to eat with my wife, I got a text. You received a 1-star feedback for order number 1, 2, and it said the feedback was that the item didn't fit. Like, that's not a feedback for me. That's a feedback for the item. It was shoes, and I got negative feedback because the shoes didn't fit them. That's not my problem. So that was a feedback for the item. It was a product review, not a seller review. So I immediately went into my Seller Central. Remember, I'm out to eat with my wife. I'm like, can I take care of this real quick? And so I went into Seller Central on my phone, opened up a case, told them what was going on, and by the time the check came for dinner, I got an email from Amazon saying we removed this feedback because, yeah, it was a product feedback, not a feedback that was for you as a seller. So it's been pretty awesome being able to use Feedback Genius, and I've used it for years now, and it's helped me increase my feedback scores. If you're curious about using Feedback Genius, again, you can get 2 months for free, fulltimefba.com/genius. Tracy says, does using an out-of-state prep center tend to run more in costs? Shipping costs higher the further you ship versus a prep center in state, or does it seem to balance out? Do you have experience with this? So choosing a prep center, and we go into this in a lot of detail in the Next Level Amazon course, but choosing a prep center is really important because the prep center, if it's going to be out of state, then if you're doing it with retail arbitrage, then you're mailing your stuff to the out-of-state prep center. Most people don't do that. Most people, if they want a prep center for the retail arbitrage, they'll drop their stuff off at the prep center and not use something out of state. But so if they're wanting to use a prep center, they choose. A lot of people like to choose a prep center in the middle of the United States because that is a centralized location, so it's less shipping costs to the Amazon warehouses. But a lot of people also like to weigh the fact that they like to have a prep center in a state that is tax-free, sales tax-free, and so they can purchase their items via online arbitrage, sales tax-free, and have those items sent to the prep center, and that they save money on that. And so the area that you choose to have your prep center is important. So you want to look at and you want to see, where am I usually sending my inventory? A really good thing to do is go to in your Seller Central account, you can click on reports, you can click on fulfillment reports, and you can click on your, I think, daily inventory activity. I would run that report and see because in that report, it will show you what warehouses your inventory are being stored at. And you can see which warehouses most of the time your inventory is being stored at, because we like to think that our inventory stays where we send it. We send it to Amazon, it stays there, but a lot of times Amazon will move it and they'll have our inventory scattered all throughout the United States. And so we want to see where our inventory is so that we can make the best decision. And because if we're like, hey, if our inventory is always going out to California or always going out to somewhere on the West Coast, well, then having a prep center on the West Coast might be a good idea. But if our inventory is usually going to Illinois or Chicago or different places like in that area, we might have a prep center near there. So that's another option for you in dealing with the prep center. Another thing is that shoes and clothing prep centers are a lot different than toy prep centers. Oversized, some prep centers are only oversized. So, it's also possible for you to have multiple prep centers that you're using and being able to use depending on what the items are that you're sending. But overall, I think sometimes we put too much thought into what prep center we're using, and that is stopping us from actually using a prep center. And even though we want to make a right decision, it's not a problem to change a prep center sometime in the future if you find something better. So it's better to at least choose a prep center to use now than to wait to find the perfect one. And so, but I'll walk you through in the next level Amazon course the ways that you can know for sure what to talk to the prep center about, what to ask, because there's certain questions you should ask, and there's certain things that you should know about. Some prep centers will just take your stuff, prep it, and send it to Amazon. Other will go the extra mile and double check that the items that you sent them match the product page. They'll double check to make sure that the item is still in new condition and it wasn't damaged. They'll take care of returns for you. And so you want to make sure you have a prep center that takes care of all that. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, you can reach out to me later. James says, I've been contacting with a lot of wholesalers, but everything I'm finding either does not pass Camel, 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 or Keepa, or Amazon is all over this. How do you overcome this? So I think what you're doing is a strategy that a lot of people use, but it's backwards from what I do. A lot of people look for wholesale accounts, get the wholesale account, then they get the listing of what the wholesale account offers, and then you go see if they can find something that's profitable. But what I do, and this is something that I learned from the wholesale formula. The wholesale formula is closed right now, but if you want to get on the waiting list to be notified when the wholesale formula opens, you can go to fulltimefba.com/wholesale formula. But what you do is you go to Amazon and you start searching through items on Amazon, and you find items on Amazon that are profitable, that Amazon is not selling or hasn't sold in the past, and you find the items that are selling quickly, and then you look at what the company is that sells that, and you reach out to that company to be able to create a wholesale account with that company. And so, and then once you get that wholesale account with that company, then you can check their catalog to see if there's anything else profitable. But first you start with the profitable inventory item, and then you work backwards to create the wholesale account. Now, this is about the same work as it is to just find wholesale companies and get their list, and then search the list for something profitable. But you at least know that the item that you're looking at would probably be profitable. It sells fast, it sells for a high dollar amount, and then you can start to see if that works with other ones. That's a generalized, quick version of how to search for wholesale items that I found to be really helpful. Again, fulltimefba.com/wholesale formula will get you on the waiting list to find out more. Like, they have a free video series that talks you through all those things. That's really helpful. So check that out. But you want to start at the profitable product first, and then work your way backwards to contacting the company, rather than contacting a random company and then hoping they have something profitable to sell. Hopefully that makes sense. Bill says, if you're doing your own prep on retail arbitrage items, textiles need to be polybagged. Can you give advice on where you get the polybags and suffocation warning labels? I mean, I just get them from, I just buy them in bulk from either uline.com, or I get them from Amazon. Carol says, do I need a reseller certificate in order to do wholesale? Yes, and a reseller certificate, you can just search your state and resell certificate, and then you can go in and request that. Some of them might need your social security number if you're doing this as like a sole proprietorship, but hopefully you've realized that this is a real business and you need to create either an LLC or a S Corp or C Corp or something like that, and you can go to LegalZoom, get all the paperwork taken care of. fulltimefba.com/LegalZoom to be able to get incorporated, and with that incorporation comes an EIN, employee identification number, and with that you can get your reseller certificate. It sounds complicated, it sounds hard. It can be done in a couple of days, and then you can have your sales tax certificate to be able to do wholesale. You can even go into retail stores and use that sales tax certificate to be able to not pay sales tax in stores. except for Kohl's and Target. Kohl's and Target, you should probably pay full price at retail. You should pay retail price at Kohl's and Target because they don't like resellers, and if you pull out your resale certificate, they will ask you to leave. So just work that into your margins if you're sourcing at Target or Kohl's. But places like Walmart, Walgreens, you know, a lot of places have really good relationships with resellers. So good question. Well, it has been over an hour since we started this whole thing. Thank you so much for your questions. Hopefully I've been able to answer them, and hopefully I've been able to help you find new ways to get unstuck and take your Amazon business to the next level. Again, Next Level Amazon is the newest course, fulltimefba.com/next level. If you use the coupon code NEXT40, it's a limited time coupon code, you can save $40, brings the cost of $177 down to $137. And man, that's a steal when you're talking about a 160-page ebook, over 18 videos, over 5.5 hours of video training that help you get to a point in your Amazon business where you can turn those part-time hours into a full-time income. Imagine the life that you can live when you're only working on your Amazon business 15, 20 hours a week, but you're still pulling in a full-time income. It takes time to get to that point, but once you're there, you never look back. I mean, that's why I'm able to blog and do videos and do webinars and stuff. We still, my wife and I, are full-time FBA resellers. We make a full-time income because of our Amazon profits, but I'm only spending like 10 or 15 hours a week on my Amazon business, but making a full-time income. And the other rest of the time is when I'm blogging, making videos and courses and things to help you guys, coaching and all this other stuff. And I love spending my time doing those things. We also do a lot of traveling. We like to, be able to give to our church and give to organizations that we like to support. We love being able to do that, and we can because of the life that we live by, the things that I teach you in the Next Level Amazon course. It's something that can be really life-changing. If you commit to the process and stick with it, you can find the results that will help you make that full-time income with only part-time hours. I mean, I could never go back to a normal job again. I don't think I could ever have a boss anymore. I don't think I could do that anymore. I could not go to a 9 to 5. I could not handle a morning commute. I could not go back to that life anymore. I've been doing this for so long, and I love being my own boss, and you can too. fulltimefba.com/next level. Coupon code NEXT40 to save $40 off. So if you have any questions, find me on Facebook. fulltimefba.com/Facebook is our Facebook group. You can ask questions there, and we can have more fun, and the conversation can continue there. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. I appreciate everyone for showing up today and watching this. Remember, don't just learn, put it into action, and you will find results.